Welcome back to our channel. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button and like, and drop your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you. Now let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to today's video. We're going to take a deep dive into what a potential Donald Trump victory in the 2024 US presidential election could mean for Canada. From trade and economics to immigration policies and the environment, the effects could be widespread. So let's explore how a second Trump presidency might impact our neighbor to the north. One of the most significant areas of concern if Trump wins a second term is the economic impact on Canada. The US and Canada share one of the world's largest and most integrated economies, and any shift in US policies could have direct consequences for Canada's financial landscape. Trump is known for his protectionist trade policies, and if he wins, we can expect to see higher tariffs on Canadian goods. A focus on tariffs could lead to increased costs for Canadian businesses and exporters, slowing down the flow of trade between the two countries. According to experts, this could result in a higher inflation rate in Canada, putting a strain on the economy. In fact, some estimates suggest that if Trump's protectionist policies go into effect, Canada's economy could experience a 0.9% slowdown by 2029. For Canadian businesses, this could mean fewer export opportunities and potentially higher prices for Canadian goods in the US market. On top of this, Trump's economic policies, while often favorable to US corporations, could create barriers for Canadian businesses trying to compete in the US, particularly in sectors like technology, agriculture, and manufacturing. While there are risks, a Trump presidency could also bring some opportunities, especially for Canada's energy sector. Trump has long been a supporter of fossil fuels, and his pro-oil stance could benefit Canada's oil sands and other energy industries. If re-elected, Trump may work to ease regulations on energy production, making it easier for Canada to export oil to the US market. This would particularly benefit the oil and gas industry, as Trump is likely to support the continued development of pipelines and fossil fuel projects, like the controversial Keystone XL pipeline, which aims to bring Canadian oil to US refineries. For Canada's energy producers, this could be a welcome development as they look to expand their market access to the south. However, there's a downside. The push for deregulation could hurt Canada's environmental goals, as Trump is unlikely to push for significant green energy investments or renewable energy expansion. This tension between fossil fuel dependence and environmental sustainability could lead to policy conflicts between Canada and the US in areas like climate change and energy policy. On the climate change front, Canada could face some real challenges under a second Trump term. Trump's administration has been outspoken in its opposition to climate change policies, often pulling the US out of international agreements like the Paris Climate Accord. If Trump wins again, he will likely continue to deprioritize environmental protections. For Canada, this could mean a divergence in climate goals, as Canada has made significant strides in developing a green energy strategy and reducing emissions. If Trump's policies continue to focus on fossil fuel expansion while opposing climate change measures, Canada may find itself at odds with the US on how to handle climate agreements, carbon emissions, and the push for renewable energy. Moreover, the oil and gas industry's influence on US policy could hinder Canada's push to expand renewable energy infrastructure. Canada's ambitions to cut greenhouse gas emissions and invest in wind, solar, and other green technologies could be frustrated by the US's rollback of environmental regulations, which could create long-term tensions in North American climate policy. Moving on to immigration and border policies, a second term for Trump would likely mean stricter immigration laws. Trump's hardline approach to immigration has been a central part of his political platform, and it's expected that he would continue to impose stringent rules on who can enter the US from other countries. This could have a direct impact on Canadians, particularly those with family ties or business dealings in the US. For Canadians, this could translate to longer wait times at the border, especially for temporary visa holders or business travelers. Trump has already made moves to tighten border security, and Canadians might face additional checks and limitations on cross-border trade, travel, and immigration. Canada would need to adjust its visa and immigration policies to accommodate any new restrictions imposed by the US at the same time. While immigration policies may become more restrictive for those traveling to the US, Canada's more liberal immigration policies could serve as a haven for those affected by Trump's anti-immigration stance. This could result in an influx of immigrants seeking refuge in Canada, which would require the Canadian government to prepare for potential population increases and social services demands. Despite the potential challenges, Canada has a long history of adapting to shifts in U.S. policy. In preparation for a possible Trump re-election, Canada's government and business leaders have already started developing a Team Canada strategy. This approach involves collaboration between various sectors to better understand and respond to the changes that a Trump administration might bring. Canada's political leaders have acknowledged that while the integration of the U.S. and Canadian economies is one of Canada's strengths, it also makes Canada more vulnerable to U.S. policy changes. Therefore, Canadian officials are already strategizing on how to mitigate the risks posed by a Trump presidency, while still capitalizing on the opportunities that might arise in areas like trade and energy. So, what does a Trump victory mean for Canada? It's a mix of challenges and opportunities. From trade tariffs to climate policy conflicts, Canada would face a more transactional relationship with the U.S. under a second Trump term. Economic slowdowns, stricter immigration rules, and environmental clashes are all on the horizon. However, Canada's energy sector could see a boost, and the close economic ties between the two countries might allow Canada to navigate these challenges effectively. Team Canada will need to be ready for whatever comes next, as Canada's future with the U.S. will continue to evolve under Trump's leadership. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into what a Trump victory could mean for Canada, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts. How do you think Canada should prepare for the 2024 election results? We'd love to hear your opinion. See you in the next video.